Today we are back in the mountains of our Minecraft 1.8 in survival world, and today I have a pretty huge project lined up. So today I want to completely transform this entire mountain that we're going to be working with. So I want to start by adding in some custom cliffs and really add a nice looking terrain for us to work with. I also want to take some time to try and start filling out that lake. That lake is going to be pretty huge, so it's going to take a lot of refills in that water bucket. So, can you guys guess how many water buckets it's going to take me? Let me know in the comments. Okay, before we get started, there's something I've got to show you guys, and I don't know how you guys missed it. I mean, you guys should have seen it more than me. I mean, my eyes are pretty bad. I miss things pretty easy. You guys know that, but you guys should have seen this. Now, I've got to admit, I'm pretty confused. I mean, how did we miss it? It's pretty big. In fact, it's very big. It stands out like a sore thumb. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Yes, you guessed it, guys. A mansion right behind the back of our base. I mean, how did we miss this? This was right in the same forest where we was cutting down trees in last episode. How did we miss it? Anyway, we can't stand around here talking all day. We have got a bunch of work to do, so it's time to get back to work. Let's go. Okay, after about 4, maybe 5 hours of mining, we're doing pretty good. We've got ourselves a bunch of dirt. We've got some stone, which we've been smelting up in our furnaces. We're getting... Oh, we've got a few more that we can take out here. Excellent. And we're going to keep smelting some of this up because I know I'm going to need a fair amount of stone. So we need to keep this smelting. Did I put some in that one? No, I missed that one. Okay, so we're going to put those back there, and we can put these ones back in here. So we're doing fairly good. We've got a fair amount of stone. We've got plenty of dirt, diorite. We've got some tuff because we're going to be using this. I'm thinking of changing up our dirt path for a path made of cobblestone, tuff, and mossy cobblestone. Andesite, some granite, gravel, and then tons of cobblestone. And a fair amount of coal as well. So we're doing pretty good at the moment. We've got quite a few resources. I've also managed to gather up a few goodies here. As you can see, 39 diamonds. That's not bad, but we did spend most of our time at iron level because I was trying to gather up some iron. We've got 56 in here, so if we put that in there. So we've got 1 stack and 9 ingots. So we've got quite a lot of iron, and we've got 39 raw iron here. Now, I have used a lot because we have crafted a ton of pickaxes. Let's take a look at how many. Oh my gosh, that is way more than I was expecting. 31 iron pickaxes and 27 stone pickaxes. That is a huge amount. My gosh, it's definitely time we get some upgrades. Okay, for now, I don't want to waste too much diamonds. So let's just get ourselves some iron armor for now until we can get our diamonds enchanted. And the only thing I want to do here is get a pickaxe. Okay, that's all we're going to do for now. Just a diamond pickaxe so that we can get some obsidian. And for now, I think that will do. So let's get ourselves back to work. Oh, and let's not forget a bucket. We're going to definitely need a bucket. Okay, we have got a huge cave down here, but this is what I'm more interested in. Lush caves. Yes, we've got to get ourselves over there ASAP. But before we do that, let's see if we can find some lava. I hate these big caves. Let's do this quick. Lights, lights, lights. Come on, quickly. Oh, that's a big drop down there. We got more over here. We're just going to light this up as fast as we can and then get out of here because there are going to be mobs all over the place. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, I do not want to see your arrows today, Mr. Skeleton. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Phew. 1 down and about 1,000 more to go. It's time to get this cave lit up because we're going to have way too many of these guys to deal with. Okay, what else has this cave got to offer? Any more nasties? I'm sure we can find a few more. Not on your Nelly. You're going down, brother. Oh my god, where's my shield? Where's my shield? Tip number 1. When you go caving, take your shield out first. I'm over here, buddy. Man, you blew my light up. Blow anything up, but not my lights. Ah, come on. There we go. And down you go. And lights back out again. It's the twins. Boom. Man, it's a shame you guys have got to be charged to blow each other's heads off. Okay, we're not going to hang around here for too long because I've got a bunch of work to get done. Just want to grab a bit of this moss before we leave. Oh, don't forget the glowberries either. We need some of those. I think we're definitely going to have to make our own lush cave base at some point. I think that's going to be a really cool idea. We can get the big ones, but the small ones, they just break. Okay. Oh, we must have a slime chunk. Hey, we got our first slimes. Okay, let's go ahead and make this area a little bit safer by turning this lava into some obsidian. Okay, I know there must be lava underneath, so let's place down a bucket of water, and then we should be able to mine and get our first piece of obsidian, and it should turn the one underneath as well. Perfect. Okay, right, we've got our first piece of obsidian. Now, this is going to take a while because I've got a bunch to get, and I want to get enough for a nether portal. So, I think it's time to get to work and mine up a bit of this. Okay, and enchantment table. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so we've got that now. Let's put those back in there. We'll put our diamonds away. And we still got a fair bit of work to do because now we need bookcases. So now we're going to need a ton of leather. Or bookcases if we can find some. So I guess it's back out on the hunt again. After all that gathering, I just realized that in order to make books, we're going to need paper. And to get paper, we're going to need sugarcane. So we need another hunt for some sugarcane. So hopefully we can find some around here somewhere. Ooh, pumpkins. Don't mind if I do. I'll help myself to just a few of these. We can get some of these going in the farm. Seriously, our first lake in how far? And yet we do not have a single bit of sugarcane ground by it. Are you kidding me? Finally, my gosh. And it's going to be a long trek home. We've got to be at least a couple of thousand blocks away. Really? Surely there must have been some a bit closer to base. I guess because I'm going to turn this area into some kind of lake down here, I guess here will be good a place as any for making our little area for our single piece of sugarcane that we went halfway across the map to find. Okay, now that I've finally got a second bucket of water, we can start actually flooding a little bit of this area down here. Okay, we're going to jump into a little bit of a time lapse here. Like always, I did get a little bit carried away with building, but I started off by filling out this lake here. This lake is massive. We got so much water here. Now, I've got no idea how many buckets I did use, but guys, don't forget to let me know in the comments how many buckets do you think I used, and I will let you know at the end of the video. Now, the lake actually spreads right around the side of the mountain because we've got this big kind of cove that sits all the way around it. So we've got a really cool shape to this lake, and I've got some really good ideas for where to place some houses and a few things that we're going to do. Now, at the moment, I'm only filling the lake. I will be coming back at another point to texture the lake and add some details around it and stuff like that. But I'm going to do that a bit later on. For the moment, my goal was just to actually fill this with water. Now, it did take me about 3 hours to do. It was a very long time. So I'm glad I got it done. I'm glad it's all done, but it was a extremely boring job to do. Now, I've got to say, overall, I think it's looking really good. Even without the texturing and the weeds and stuff in the lake, it still looks really nice. So I can't wait to see how it turns out once we get all of those finer details in there, because it's going to be really cool. Next, on to my favorite part, which is terraforming. Now, I've got to say, terraforming is a lot of fun when you kind of know what you're doing, but when you're learning terraforming, it's not always so much fun. So if you're new to terraforming and you're trying to do it in survival, I would suggest doing it in sort of small doses so that you don't unmotivate yourself for playing, because it can be quite a hard work. What you're seeing right now is about 6 hours worth of terraforming. So, you know, there's a lot of work that really went into this. So, you know, don't expect it to be happening too quick. You know, patience is definitely the key when it comes to terraforming. One of the best things to do before you start is to kind of have a clear picture of what you want to do. For me, I wanted this cliff here to have several different cliff faces at different levels. And then I wanted it to kind of slope from one cliff down into the next, so that we could run like a smooth pathway down from one cliff to the next, all the way down until we get to the bottom of the valley by the lake. Now, it did take a very long time and a lot of sort of thinking and planning of how it was going to go. And I would suggest that if you're doing terraforming like this for cliffs, a good way to do it is to lay out your dirt or your grass first. Make sure you got your top of your platforms all in place, kind of where you want them first. And then it's easier to come back after and then start filling in your actual cliff faces underneath, keeping like a sort of indentation that goes in so that the top of the cliffs look like they are overhanging. Now for me, I like to use a mix of stone, cobblestone and andesite. I think this works really well with the cliffs, but depending on what you're doing, you can add several other blocks, especially like gradients, to make it darker towards the bottom. Now I may come back a little bit later on and texture the bottom so that the bottoms do look a bit darker, because I think that would look really cool, but for now I think I'm happy with how it looks. Overall, I think the mountain has shaped up really good and we've really got a great base to work from now. Okay, now I've got to say, guys, I am pretty knackered from that. That was a long, old bit of work and a lot of concentrating along the way, but we got there in the end. We're going to take a look at it a little bit later, but for now, I do want to get started on some interior work. But before we do that, I want to make building a little bit easier. So we're going to need some scaffolding. Now, I'm pretty sure I saw a jungle in this direction from the top of my mountain, so hopefully we can get there and just gather up a few resources while we're there. We may as well grab some saplings, maybe some cocoa beans, and some melons if we can find some. But most of all, I just want bamboo so that we can build some scaffolding. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and just grab a few things. We've got some cocoa beans straight off the start, and we're going to start grabbing up a few jungle logs as well. Now, the main thing I want to get here is the saplings so that I can grow them at my base, because that makes things much easier. Chopping down the larger jungle trees, of course, is a much more efficient way of working. So let's go ahead and chop all this down. There's a bunch of wood here. Now, I don't tend to use jungle wood that much, but I must say that I am becoming a bit of a fan of the jungle trapdoors and some of the stripped woods. Aha, bamboo, perfect. This should do. Let's get our axe and chop that down. Now, don't need too much because we can grow this pretty fast. Will you be my friend? Aha, there we go. Best friends forever. Okay, guys, we need a name. Give me some names in the comments. What should we call our new little parrot? He's green and it's pretty, so maybe we can call it a girl's name. Let me know what you think in the comments. And while we're here, just grab that last bit of bamboo. And I think that'll probably do us. Might as well grab some melons while we're here. Of course, we will turn this into an automatic farm at some point in our base. So this would be great for trading with our villagers. And of course, a quick and easy food supply on the go. Now, this is more what I was talking about. A proper bamboo jungle. This should be plenty. Okay, we're heading back to base now. And I think that I've got everything I need. Are we going the right way? Yeah, there's the mansion. Yep. Okay, so now I've got plenty of supplies now. I've got plenty of bamboo so we can make some scaffolding, which is going to make it so much easier for building. And I got some melons, some cocoa beans, saplings, jungle wood. So we've got plenty to do for now. But the only thing is I'm going to need a few more resources because we still got quite a lot of things that I'm going to need to finish up everything I want to get done today. I mainly want to finish up the interior. So yeah, again, I guess it's back to work. Okay, let's get some of this clay smelting so that we can make some bricks. I think we might need to add a little bit of coal. We're getting a bit low, so we're probably going to have to go mining for some more of this at some point. But for now, I think just a little bit in each of these should keep this going. There we go. Okay, right, that should have us bricks in no time. Now we can finally make a start on the interior. So let's start by sectioning this area just at the back here for our enchantment room. I've got a few cool ideas and I think we're going to go ahead and strip these down so they blend in with the rest of our pillars. That should do. The flooring down here, I'm probably going to use the same. I'm going to go for some stripped dark oak logs. I think I use spruce way too much, so we need a little change. We're going to go ahead and strip these down, and I do think this is going to make the floor look very dark, so we may have to change the walls a little bit, but overall I think this is going to be really nice. Okay, let's craft a few more bookshelves. I think that should do. Okay, let's go ahead and section the back off first of all. So we can section these two pieces here. And then we're going to just fill in the rest with our bookshelves. I think 3 blocks high at the back and then 2 at the sides. Yeah, this should look good. I think that'd be plenty. Now, if we go ahead and we place down our enchantment table about there, this should give us level 30. Let's just take a look. Yep, perfect. Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish this throughout the entire lower level. So we're going to have our dark oak floor. I think this is going to look much nicer, but we're probably going to have to change the walls to spruce maybe, because otherwise more dark oak is just going to be a little bit too dark. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more light in. Maybe we'll put one just about there. Yeah, this is looking good. This is shaping up nice already. So I think I'm going to switch out the dark oak planks here for some spruce planks. I think it's going to be a little bit of a better break in colour. It's not going to be so dark and so sort of dreary. So I want to add a little bit of brightness to the room, and I think this should do. Plus, you guys know what I'm like. I love my spruce, so I put it everywhere. But I'm trying to keep here with this log cabin feel, and I think the spruce is just going to work better with the style. Yeah, that looks good. We've got all of our framework in as well. Let's add it over here. Now I think we're going to add a table just over in this corner here. So if we go ahead and put in some dark oak planks, it's going to make it look like another table leg on the other side. So placing down our slabs and our trapdoors, and as you can see, this looks more like a table. It looks like you got a dark edge on the other side. We're going to go ahead and place in a couple of slabs with some trapdoors, and that should make a nice little table. Nothing too big, but I think it works. And then yeah, this is starting to shape up. I like it. Now, over here, I have added a few details, but we're just going to place a few flower pots. One over here with a flower in it. And I think maybe one more just at the top here, just to finish off this little area. Now, the ceiling here, I like to add a bit of greenery in my enchantment room. So, adding in a few fences, and then some of our oak leaves should add a nice little bit of colour in here. We'll drape that one down, and then just add a couple more. Maybe something like so. Yeah, that looks great. Look at that. See, just a little bit of greenery adds so much. Okay, time for a fireplace. We're going to place one just in the corner here. Now, I've made this design loads of times. It's very simple, but it works really well in small areas, especially in little corners. So, adding in your stairs on one way and then the other. We'll put in a couple of bricks at the top, and there we go. Perfect. Now for the bedroom, I'm going to keep it pretty simple in here. Let's add a couple of beds. We're going to add a headboard and a footer to the bed. And look at that. That looks great. We'll add a few more barrels here. And yeah, I think maybe a few more details. But overall, that is probably good. Now, this little cabin is really starting to shape up. I gotta say, I'm absolutely loving the way this is looking. Now, I've got so many plans for this area. But so far, this little cabin, I'm really loving it. And we got our little chimney in place, as you can see, and that makes it look so much better. Now zooming back out, it makes the place look so small, but I gotta say, this was a huge job. Ignore these trees up here. This is just for resource gathering. They're not gonna stay there, but overall this was a huge project, and I'm really happy with the way it's looking. I still got some finishing touches to do. As you can see on the edges here, we still got to get in some cool stir and a little bit of sort of texturing maybe across the bottom edge down here, and a little bit more around this edge here. But it's pretty much done and ready to start working on. Obviously, as we build more, it's going to add more details around the edges, more pathways, and a lot of stuff like that. Now, I do want to change up my pathways because I think that it's going to look really nice if we've done the pathways in tough cobblestone and mossy cobblestone. I think it'd be a really nice pathway, and then obviously we'll add some cool stir and grass path in between that as well. But overall, guys, I gotta say, I am loving the way it is shaping up. Oh, And while I remember, did you guys take your guess on how many buckets it took to fill this up? I tell you what, it was a lot more than I expected. There we go, guys. Take a look there. Look, 3,360 refills. My gosh. Well, 3,361, but I've still got one in the bucket. So, my gosh, that was a lot of work. But it was worth it because I think it's going to be really nice having that lake all in place. Okay, now I have got a bunch of building ideas, but guys, don't forget to let me know in the comments what you think. But first of all, on this second landing down from our actual base here, I want to build a house somewhere around about here, which is why I've left this a little bit flat here. I'm going to build a house, and up at the top of the mountain here, we're going to have a stream that's going to run all the way down around the side of the house down here, and then I guess it'll come off over to around about here, and then drop down into maybe like a sort of pond and then run into the lake. I think it's going to be really cool. And then the house here will have a path obviously that comes across here and connects to this one, and then a bunch of greenery and that around it. But the house is going to be what's going to be a connection to maybe a storage room and some farms. I'm thinking that we can make the house right on top of this wall, and that way we can have a stairway going down into the actual mountains, and in there we can start making some automatic farms, a storage room and stuff like that. So we're going to get to that at some point as well, probably in next episode, but I think that's what we're going to work on. At the top of the mountain here, where I do have just some trees for now, so just ignore those, I'm going to chip away a little bit at some of this hill here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have quite a large kind of lumber yard house slash thing. So like a woodcutter's lodge, if you like. So that we're going to have like the woodcutter's lodge. So there'll be a house. There'll be like an extension that'll come out of the back with a bit that goes underneath. That bit that goes underneath is going to be where all the wood is stored. And then over here, if we follow this path here, on this corner here, I'm going to smooth out this area of the hill a little bit. But what we'll do is we'll have a hill going up with a bunch of custom spruce trees on. And that'll be where there'll be a few that'll be chopped down. And that'll be where the woodcutter is getting his wood from. Which I think will be pretty good. I mean, we're going to need a woodcutter's lodge for all of what would be here. Realistically, if we're going to be building a village and stuff, we'd need to know where some of the resources are coming from. Now, heading up to our base, I did finish it up and I added a few little changes and bits and bobs on the inside. So, let's go and have a look. Now, I've got to say, I love the way it looks when you come in. It's got such a warm sort of feeling, but I think it just looks, I don't know, really cool. So, as we come in, first of all, we got a little work area on this side here. Cartography table, a smithing table, a couple of things that we might use. And I think that looks really cool. Then we got our enchantment area at the back there, our little fireplace with a table. Again, nice and cozy, nothing too much. And then we got our stairway going up and our stairway going down. The stairway going down at the moment just has a bit of storage down here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe a wine cellar or something like that I think would look pretty good. But yeah, I got to say, this is shaping up real nice. The enchantment area here, we got a little sort of drinking keg, flour. And then over here, we just got a bit of storage, our crafting table, an anvil, and then a stone cutter. Just there for a few little bits that we might need. But yeah, I think it looks really cool. Now, coming upstairs, we've actually got some storage just behind us, just here. But if we go up the stairs, we've got a shelf that we literally just miss our head on. And yeah, we've got a little flower pot there. Our little balcony here, I bring it in just by one block so we can get a nice little desk over in the corner here. As you can hear, we've got our parrot whistling away in the room there. A little bit of storage here and a little bit of decoration with a bush. And then when we come in here, there we go. Look, he's sitting by the fire keeping warm. Hey there, my little friend. How you doing? So we need a name, guys. Don't forget to give me a name. Now, we've got another fireplace up here. We've also got a cupboard in the corner. Nice little space for a bit of storage. We've got some decorations, a little table, and of course we've got our bed and a little sort of cabinet at the side. Still got a few little bits to decorate around here and there, maybe a little picture here and there, but overall it's looking pretty nice. And look at that for a view. Ain't that beautiful? don't worry about all that sugarcane. That's not going to be staying there. That's just so that we can grow some for an automatic farm. I will be moving it away and putting in some really cool decorations with a bunch of houses around it as well. Let's go ahead and have a look how it looks out this view. Ah, yeah, look at that. Beautiful view. Man, I gotta say, the new mountains and the 1.18, I am just loving this. This just looks so nice. Yeah, I want to put some houses down here. I'm not sure what houses. We're going to have some kind of, I guess, little fishing cabin or something like that. Maybe a fisherman's hut. And then, yeah, a few other houses and that dotted around. We're going to connect it all up. And, I mean, I'm just even thinking down the line, we could even expand. Make a bridge from one mountain into the other. And kind of just connect them up. Build some more stuff inside the mountains. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But guys, that just about does it for today. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.